Kendo Podcast episode 105. In this episode, I want to share my thoughts on preparation for Kendo.
Kendo Podcast by Hiro Mafuji from KendoGuide.com. Thank you for listening. This podcast is about Japanese martial arts Kendo for Kendo lovers and supported by Kendo enthusiasts through Patreon.com. Thank you for your support, guys. Please visit KendoGuide.com for more Kendo information and how to support KendoGuide.com.
Welcome to Kendo Podcast episode 105. I wanted to share what we should be, how should be ready to learn Kendo. Recently, I had beginner, and every time I have beginners, I tell them what they can do at home to improve Kendo better, right? More quickly. Of course, everyone wants to improve their Kendo as fast as they can, but it's always the case that they cannot improve as they wish. So there's always conflict inside them, and that leads them to get frustrated, and that will lead them to quit Kendo very easily. I think now I've been teaching. That's what I think. I've been teaching people differently. Depends on how they, they depend on their personalities, which I think I have to guess, through my experience. Of course, I don't think I'm always correct on that, but, I don't believe that there's only one way to do Kendo. One way to... A lot of people are different, so I really do want to change my methods a little bit. Like, physically, I think they should be different. That's what I think. I don't really change my goals for them to learn in terms of Kendo, but to reach one goal, I think there should be many ways, many paths to reach that goal. So depends on personalities. I kind of change my approach to them. But still, for example, a lot of people think Kendo can give them physical endurance, or through Kendo they want to lose weight. Some people do. And through Kendo they want to achieve something. And maybe they just want to learn, how to use swords, for example. But you cannot really learn. I don't really teach how to, I personally don't really teach how to use a sword. I do teach through showing the iaito and how to use the katana, because Kendo is derived from samurai swordsmanship. So I don't want to skip that. So, but our goal is not how to hurt other people. Through Kendo, we learn how to behave, how to control ourselves. I think that is the main purpose. Controlling includes physically, how to move our body and how to control our emotions. That is two main things we do through Kendo. To do so, we need to learn how to use our body first. That is the main thing. With physically, we try to reach our mental or emotional part of us through the physical movements of Kendo, right? So if you cannot move your body as you need to in Kendo, it's hard to reach emotional side of you, if you want to think like that. So, you need to be ready to change your lifestyle, if you will. So, they want to do Kendo, but all they focus on is how to swing a stick around. If that is the case, you cannot learn Kendo, and if you, that probably, through little things, you start Kendo, like through watching anime or through learning Kenjutsu. But whatever you do, the entrance to the Kendo can be different. And, that's fine. But what you want from Kendo might be not the case. Might not be what you want to learn. Always you need to prepare. You should be ready to learn Kendo. An old Kendoist or Kenjutsu sensei, Shimada Toranosuke sensei, he said you have to have right mindset to learn Kendo. If your mindset is not right, you cannot learn correct Kendo. He didn't say the word Kendo. He used the word Ken. If your mindset is not correct, you cannot learn correct Ken, the sword. That means, the way of the sword. It doesn't have to be Kendo, but it has, it can be how to use the sword, or Kenjutsu, for example. Kendo is not to hurt others. That's the period. If we are strong enough, we don't need to hurt anyone. If we can control ourselves, of course we need to fight. We have to tell our opinion when we need to. Be strong, be brave, and we have to do that. We have to do it right way and everything else, But if you are not ready, for example, physically, if you are not ready to learn Kendo, for example, if your joints are too stiff, you need to work on that. Okay, you have to change your posture, and you need to change how you walk. You need to change how you sit. It's for learning Kendo. And if you don't want to do that, you cannot do Kendo. Maybe you cannot do anything if you are not ready to change your lifestyle. Like if you want to start learning something. Maybe it's too much to do. So if you feel it's too much to do, maybe you're not ready to learn Kendo. And you don't need to learn Kendo. You can probably get benefit from other martial arts in that case. But after all, any martial arts will require you to be changed. Now, you need to change your lifestyle to get better because of that. You need to, if you want to accomplish something, you've got to change yourself. If you're not changing yourself, you can't learn anything. Now, in the past, some people say, how do you know if you're not teaching wrong stuff? It's a good point. What if I'm right? But based on what are you talking about? That is a question. Why do you think what we are teaching is wrong? What is your goal to learn Kendo? If you want to beat the crap out of other people, probably this is not what you want to do. But if you train really hard, you become strong, physically strong, and then you will be able to beat people up. But in Kendo, we say don't do it. It's not what we're supposed to do because, beating up people is not a solution to anything. So I don't know why people say that, and I don't know why this person thinks he knows a lot better than something. It's been out there a lot longer than he is or they are. So I'm not too sure why they are saying that. But if that's something here. If your mindset is not ready, you shouldn't learn Kendo, because you always fight. You always go against the teaching from your teacher. And then what's the point of learning? It's mindset. Correct mindset is very important. What is correct mindset? Are you ready to learn? Are you ready to study Kendo? Are you there to sincerely learn whatever you want to do? If you have a question and if you want to know why you want to do it, you have to do a certain way. Probably you should ask. You don't want to say, I don't think you're right. I don't know why. Maybe if you have strong evidence of the reason of the why you say that, probably you can say it. And then I don't see the point of learning if you start doing that to every single thing. So I always tell them, it's very hard to. Kendo is Japanese martial arts, and there's a lot of things that apply to Japanese society. So I don't think every single bits are for different cultural, for different cultural people, different cultures. But still, if you want to learn, humbleness is one of the important key to learn Kendo. And in Kendo, we need to be humble and listen to other people. And then, it might not apply to you, but it doesn't mean it's wrong. Because there are a lot of people, different kind of people out there. So that might apply to certain people. That's why we had a lot of different styles back in old days. Some people, one school will separate it. If you're learning, one school has many students, right? And they become good, and then they start thinking, oh, okay. Once they get better, and once they think, oh, received some kind of a certification, and they start thinking, okay, I think we should do this, and maybe we can move better. So that's kind of developing one style. That's why we had many different styles under one school, originated from one school, and we had different ryuha, different lines there. Nothing wrong with it, nothing wrong with it. But do you know, if you want to do that, you need, like I said, they had certification. That means they studied thoroughly one school, and then they move on to their own style. That means they have trained enough, and then they start thinking, what about this? What about that? This is called Ri part of phase. We have a saying. We have these 3 phases called Shu-Ha-Ri. Shu means you learn from your teachers thoroughly, sincerely, learn from your teacher and learn the basics from him. And whatever he teaches you, you receive all the teachings from him. And the Ha is you go outside the dojo and learn from other people. Okay, so it means breaking through the next level. Right, that means Ha. Ha means breakthrough or break. Okay, and then Ri is you break a part of what you have learned so far, and then you start improve. You start improving what you have learned, and share what you have learned learned with other people. Okay, probably that's 7th dan or 8th dan level in Kendo. So different phases we need to do different things. Okay, so if you're a beginner, you need to think about what you can do to learn Kendo. If you're ready to change your lifestyle for you to learn Kendo, that is important question for you to ask yourself. I think it's very important to share for those people who are thinking to start Kendo, and also who has already started Kendo, and also if you're a teacher or if you're an instructor, probably we have to start asking. You don't have to ask, but probably you have to kind of start telling them, do this at home because you need to do this. You have to have a good posture in order for you to improve Kendo. So at home, do this, do that. And it's easy for you to see if they really do what you tell them to do at home. Okay, so if they don't like it, they'll quit, I think. So I think this is very important for everyone to know. What they need, they should be ready to sacrifice their lives to learn Kendo. Sacrifice is a very heavy change their lifestyle so they can enjoy Kendo. Everyone can enjoy Kendo at the dojo. I think that's very important. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next podcast.